Whoops. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Megan, and today is super exciting because fall is coming upon us. Yes, we love fall here. I don't know about you guys, but for me, fall pretty much starts when school gets back in session. I know that summer is still technically happening, but I felt like this was a good time to start discussing like fall TBR and giving you recommendations. That way you could prep for when you feel like it's fall. So I have 10 books here, or books slash series here, that I think you should add to your fall TBR. Admittedly, most of them are fantasy because that is my favorite genre. I actually think every single one of them is fantasy. Sorry about that. If you are looking for some good fantasy fall recs, I am the person to talk to. First up, we gotta throw a shout out to my favorite girl, Nikki Palprato. This is a dark YA fantasy leaning towards new adult. It's like a higher end YA, I'd say, because it does have a bit of language, a bit of violence, and a bit of intimacy. So just be prepared for that. But it is following a young girl who is a ghost fighting warrior, and in this world those are known as reapers. And well, she's not technically a reaper yet. She is entering the bone trial to become one. However, she gets absolutely mortified during the bone trial and is sent off to work the wall. While she is working the wall, she is looking for any way to recover her like reputation, her honor, anything of that nature. It just so happens the prince comes along and gets kidnapped. So of course she goes on the hunt to save the prince, to restore her honor with her family, and along the way she teams up with the mortal enemy of this kingdom, the Ironsmiths, and she teams up with one of them, and they are just such a fun bantering duo, and I think it's really fun to watch them learn from each other and grow from each other. So overall, it's just a super fun fantasy. I've read it twice, and even though I'd read it before, the second time reading it through, I was still like audibly gasping and laughing and everything at things that were happening. Here are some of my tabs. I actually did most of my annotations just like right in the book, so the tabs are like my favorite of my favorite scenes. But it's just overall such a perfect read for spooky season. It's such a light YA fantasy, like it doesn't get too heavy, but the world building is fantastic. I think Nikki does an immaculate job of building a new world and also relationship building. I think her characters' relations with each other are just some of the best that I've ever read. And I could go on about this forever and ever, so I'll stop there. But I would highly recommend. Bonesmith is pitched as Gideon the Ninth meets Game of Thrones, so there you have it. Next is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I don't know if this would be considered like fantasy. I think it's like a dark adult contemporary fantasy. In this, we are following a girl named Alex Stern who has been summoned to this house to work as like the protector of it, and things are going down. I read this one probably 2 years ago, and it was definitely very intriguing, very dark academia vibes, and I was having fun with it. The second book, Hellbent, has actually released, and I do need to pick that one up, so maybe I should add that to my fall TBR, but I've already got a huge stack of fall TBR ready to share with you guys. Ninth House is a good like dark academia adult fantasy if you're looking for more of that vibe. If you like mythology but you want more of the fall vibes with mythology, I would recommend Daughter of Sparta. This is a Greek mythology retelling of Apollo and Daphne, but it gives a lot more agency to the character that would be Daphne in this retelling. Just absolutely stunning. I loved it. We have a girl who is entering this race to like prove herself. It's almost giving Wonder Woman-esque vibes, but I think that this one was fantastic, and I need to read the two following books in the trilogy. I think we're sensing a theme here. I need to finish my series that I've started. Whoops. I think that's just something that we all know about me though. Here's a series I've finished. So Stalking Jack the Ripper, I would highly recommend. This is more of a historical fiction fantasy in which we are following like mystery series, and we are following different cases throughout history. They pretty much say what they are. So one is following Jack the Ripper, one is following Prince Dracula, one is following Houdini, and one is following the devil. These are super fun. I love, love, love the romance between Thomas and Audrey Rose, but I would heavily recommend not reading these if any type of like gore gets to you, because they talk a lot about like anatomy and corpses and like autopsies. They do a lot of autopsies and like get into serious detail about them and like the dead bodies they find. So that's just a forewarning for that. If you're not into that, maybe you don't read these. But I think Hunting Prince Dracula might have been my favorite. I don't know. Stalking Jack the Ripper is taking place in like London society, and then we have Hunting Prince Dracula is at an academy. Escaping from Houdini is on like a pleasure cruise ship boat, and then Capturing the Devil is in like American, I think it's Chicago, but I could be wrong, but it's in like somewhere in America. Next is another dark fantasy. We have a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. This is House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig. I think I recommend this one for like every fall season because it's just such a good like dark retelling. In this, we are following a young girl who believes her family has been cursed with each of the 12 sisters slowly dying off. 2 or 3 have passed at this point, and then one of them is getting ill or has gone missing or something, and so our main character is on the hunt to figure what the heck is going on. So it's just like such a unique and fun dark retelling, perfect for spooky season. I don't know why, but pirate novels just really scream fall to me. You would think that pirates would make you think of summer because they're on the ocean, but for me, I think of fall. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm thinking of fall. Maybe it's because like I associate maybe pirates with like a little bit of Halloween-esque vibes, but pirate novels to me are just in the fall season. So I have 2 fall pirate novel recommendations for you here. First we have Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. Honestly, I recommend pretty much all of Trisha Levenseller's works for fall. I feel like Trisha Levenseller does immaculate like gateway fantasies, so if you ever need to ease into fantasy, I highly recommend anything written by her. There's Warrior of the Wild, The Shadows Between Us, and then Daughter of the Pirate King, and I can think of off the top of my head, and I think there's more. I just feel like she writes fantasy that is so easy to digest, but the stories are always so unique and fun. And this one we are following Alosa, I think is this one, and she is the captain of her own ship. She's the daughter of the Pirate King, and she's just trying to, I think they're like on the hunt for map pieces or something, and so she's trying to invade this other enemy ship to get the map pieces from them, and there's a whole thing going on with that. But that's a fun little like quest adventure pirate novel. And this one's super fun as well. This is Crossbones by Kimberly Vale. This is told from multiple perspectives, but it is like, I'm not going to say much about it because I think this will convince you enough, but it is pirate trials. So this king pirate has passed, and they are trying to choose the new monarch of this world, and it can only be one of the, I think, 6 captains. So the 6 captains are entering the bone trials to see who would become the next monarch, and it's pirate trials. How cool is that? I mean, it's so fun. How could you not want to read that? Next is more of a middle grade, but it can lean YA, but it is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. Also recommend all of V.E. Schwab's works for fall season, but Gallant is specifically following a young orphan girl who discovers that she does actually have a family, and so she goes to live with them and she's discovering their secrets. There's this like wall around their house that she is forbidden from crossing, so of course one day she crosses it and she discovers this other almost Coraline-esque world, like this shadow of her world. Super spooky but super interesting. Then we have Malice by Heather Walter, and this is a dark sapphic retelling of Sleeping Beauty, in which the Maleficent-esque character and the Sleeping Beauty Aurora character fall in love. So super unique, super cool. Yes, I want to read the sequel, Misrule, right here. What other books haven't I picked up and need to read, you know? And my final 10th book, I think that was 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Okay, book number 10 recommendation is, I can't even pick it up, my gosh, The Witch Haven. This is a contemporary YA fantasy following a young girl who discovers that she has powers. So she is sent to the Witch Haven, which is an all-girls witch academy, and she's feeling very oppressed and very like stuck. I don't know what the word would be. She starts to like escape at night when she meets this boy, and she's starting to learn more and more about this witch haven, and she just wants to escape. Super interesting. I don't normally, like, I'm not a super big witchy person, but I really enjoyed this one. Highly recommend. Sasha Peyton Smith. Rules for young witches: mind your instructors, no unsupervised spell work, don't leave after dark. She gonna do what she wants. Those are 10 books I would recommend adding to your fall TBR this season. Let me know what books you think I should add to mine, even though I already have like quite the stack going on here. I'm always open to hear more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll check in with you in my next video. Bye friends.